After two straight one-run victories yesterday afternoon, the Mean Green softball team have the brooms out this afternoon for their Conference USA matchup against the UTSA Roadrunners, live from Lovelace Stadium. This is Conference USA softball on CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Welcome into the booth. I'm alongside Josh Conrad. And Josh, yesterday, two one-run victories, like I mentioned, for the Mean Green, both of them in two completely different fashion. One, the first game, a 6-5 victory on a walk-off in the bottom of the seventh for the Mean Green. And then the second game, a 1-0 pitcher's duel from beginning to end, and Lauren Crane had the complete game shutout.
Well, you know, Kyle, it was good to see North Texas make up for the two one-run losses they had to Florida International the weekend before, get a couple nice one-run wins. You talk about the first game, the nice walk-off win. North Texas did give up a lead in that game, kind of following on what they've done on the season, but it was nice to get them the win. And then a complete game by both pitchers in the second game. It was awesome to see that happen for North Texas.
But for North Texas, they're coming into the game 16-13 on the season, 5-3 in conference play. But even with the winning record and the success that they've had, there's a lot of excitement around this ballpark, but there's also some of those games along the way that they've kind of given up in the late innings or even in the middle innings. What are some things that North Texas has to do in this one to continue improving on the rest of the season?
Well, you talk about the middle innings. It's 75-45 right now between the fourth and the sixth innings. That's a 30-run differential. Mean Green have to improve on that. They're fine in the first three innings. I think it's just maybe a little bit of lack of maturity right now. 10 of your 15 players are underclassmen. They got to step that up.
And then UTSA coming in 12-19 on the season, and then 2-6 in the Conference USA slate thus far. As we are underway here from Denton, Stacy Underwood in the circle for the Mean Green to start out. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, Stacy Underwood, she's a 5'10 senior out of Hico, Texas. On the year, she is pitching a 2.59 ERA, 8-5 with the win and loss, 19 games.
As there's a bunt, the throw to first not in time. As there's a bunt single to start it off, Lindsey Stewart for the Roadrunners gets on here in the first inning. The first batter of the game reaches for the Roadrunners.
And back on Underwood, she's really been the ace of the staff. She has 8 wins on the season, 8 complete games. Really been the rock for North Texas.
So that brings Celeste Loffman to the plate, the designated player for the Roadrunners. Stewart able to run 8 for 9 on the season, stolen base-wise. This UTSA squad, 93% steal percentage so far throughout the season. Took a couple yesterday from the Mean Green as they're going to lay down another bunt, and that one's not going to be in time either. Crashing forward was Harley Perilla, but just not enough time. Just a perfectly placed bunt there from Celeste Loffman.
And you talk about UTSA, the first thing that comes to mind is their hitting. They're hitting 306 as a team batting average, and it's just this top of the lineup. You look at it, 402 from Stewart to start, Loffman with 372, and now here Rodriguez hitting 347 on the year.
And that team yesterday, UTSA had 7 hits in that second part of the doubleheader. Just couldn't scratch across a run. That one's going to be fouled straight back to the screen by Riley Rodriguez, the third baseman. The third freshman, all 3 at the top of the lineup for UTSA.
And if you're UTSA, this is who you want up right now. He's 8 home runs on the year, 32 RBIs, runners on, Rodriguez up. This is what UTSA has to want.
Yeah, the team leader in home runs and RBIs as a freshman. Both Stewart and Rodriguez from Pearland, Texas, 2 different high schools, but the Pearland duo leading the way. Stewart leading with a 402 batting average on the season. Most of the time it is from little slap bunts and then bunts like we saw in the first inning, as that one's going to be fouled off and to the right. But the Pearland duo for UTSA doing the heavy lifting and then just the contact hitting for the Roadrunners to start the season. As Underwood's going to put that one on the outside corner, slapped into right field, bobbled by North Texas as Rebar couldn't handle it initially, and a run's going to scratch across for UTSA. So after 7 hits and no runs in the second game of yesterday's doubleheader, UTSA scores a run here in their first 3 batters of the ball game.
And a great piece of hitting there by Rodriguez. Saw the outside pitch, took it to right field, went with the ball, waited on it. Great piece of hitting there by. I mean, she's hit great all year, so what else can you expect?
And if you're Underwood, that's not a bad pitch placement by any means. It was, like you said, just a great piece of hitting, taking the ball where it's pitched and putting it into right field. Just barely got over the outstretched glove of Lacey Gregory. But Coach Tracy Key is going to head to the circle and have a chat with her defense, not even just the infield, the entire North Texas defense in the middle of the circle as the meeting is going to break up. Underwood in the circle, 8-5 on the season, a 2.59 ERA, has been extremely consistent for the Mean Green, just unable to catch a break. Here in the first inning, a couple bunts and then the slap single into right field, and the Roadrunners open up a 1-0 advantage.
1 run in the second game all game yesterday. Now 1 run 3 minutes in.
And still threatening a runner on the corners with still nobody out as Underwood throws that one for ball 1. UTSA on the season 2-6 in conference play. They're 4-13 away from home, including the 2 losses yesterday here at Lovelace Stadium. The Mean Green looking for their second straight conference home sweep as they were able to sweep a UTEP team to start the conference slate, and they have that 5-0 home conference record so far.
In UTSA, one thing that comes to mind is the toughness of schedule they've played so far. 6 games against either A&M, Texas, or Baylor. You kind of look down their schedule, and it's just been a really tough road for the Roadrunners.
And then on the other side, you have North Texas playing the defending national champions OU this week, welcoming them into Lovelace Stadium. And also they've taken down a ranked Baylor team on the road in Waco's. This one's slapped in the right field as well. It's going to drop for a run. UTSA has everything falling their direction here in the first inning as they open up a 2-0 advantage over the Mean Green.
Just a little blooper there right over the head of Lacey Gregory out at second.
So 4 straight singles, 2 bunts, and then 2 Texas Leaguers into right field, resulting in 2 runs for UTSA off of Stacy Underwood. Still nobody out. Force at every base for North Texas. So that slap bunt's unable to be put down by Baldwin. Bailey Baldwin hitting .288 on the season. She has 5 home runs and 16 RBI. She has runners on first and second with nobody out. The corners are in for North Texas, as that one's going to be a called strike right on the outside black part of the plate.
UTSA did find a way to get on Underwood as the game kind of progressed yesterday. Yesterday, Underwood went 6 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs. All of them were earned.
So 0-2 count. That one's popped high in the air. In the left field, coming on to make the play is Danielle Gregory, and that's the first out for Stacy Underwood. A big one there. Now that a double play could potentially end the inning and get out of this first inning jam.
It may be good, kind of settle everybody down out there. You know, you throw your ace out there. You don't expect 2 runs in the first inning, but hopefully calm everybody down out there.
So that'll bring Kaylee Piles to the plate, the shortstop. One of the 4 seniors in this UTSA lineup, hitting .242 on the season, as that one's thrown for a strike from Underwood. Have Rodriguez at second, Crawford at first. That one just a bit outside for ball 1, so 1-1 the count here with 1 out here in the first.
Piles, a 2015 Conference USA Commissioner's Honor Roll, was redshirted her junior year.
I pitched the same exact spot as the one previous to it. We'll make it 2-1. Underwood to the plate. That one called a strike on the inside part of the plate, switching it up from Underwood. That'll make it 2-2.
Take a strikeout here.
That'd be a big one for North Texas. Strikeout or a ground ball. Piles does have a little bit of speed. She's going to pop this one high in the air. Infield fly rule is called, as it is reeled in by Kelly Scotty for out number 2. So Underwood, after giving up the 4 straight singles and out away from getting out of the jam and leaving 2 runners stranded for UTSA here in the top of the first.
Could be a nice early victory for the Mean Green. Get out of here, just 2 runs after having 2 on base so early.
This one flown in the left field and snagged by Danielle Gregory right on the foul line. So 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 left on for UTSA to round out the top of the first. So North Texas coming to the plate in the bottom of the first. We'll give you the starting defensive lineups when we come back here on CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. Welcome back to Lovelace Stadium. UTSA with an early 2-0 advantage over the North Texas Mean Green, trying to avoid the sweep here in Denton. And first, they're going to have to get through this North Texas lineup, the top of the lineup being extremely efficient throughout the first half of the season thus far.
Well, you got Scotty and then the 2 Gregory twins, and it's just been a top of the lineup that every time they come up seems to get base runners on, seems to get something going on. Top of the lineup's been extremely effective so far this year.
And then Chelsea Parker in the circle for the Roadrunners, 0-2 on the season with a 7.27 ERA. And that's a little bit of a tricky statistic in really showing that maybe she hasn't done as well, but the competition that she's faced and then her stats last year were completely different.
Oh, we talked about it in the last inning. All the teams UTSA's played, all the tough competition. It's kind of bit Chelsea Parker a little bit. 8 runs given up to A&M, struggled against Texas, struggled against Marshall. But you look at what she's done against kind of the lower level competition. She's pitched really well. Against North Texas yesterday, gave up 3 innings, had 3 hits, 1 earned run. And she pitched well versus UAB last weekend too. So I think this is a well-deserved start for her and maybe a way for her to get back on track.
And then Scotty here with a 2-0 count. So that one's going to be low for ball 3. Scotty hitting .390 on the season, the all-conference first-team selection from a year ago with 5 home runs and 16 RBI so far on the season in that leadoff hole, as she's going to take the leadoff walk on 4 pitches. So the first runner on for North Texas to start their half of the first inning.
Exactly what you want. Get the leadoff batter up, get it going.
And now UTSA faced with a trio of Gregorys in the middle of the lineup, 2, 3, 4, Lindsey Gregory, Lacey Gregory, and then Danielle Gregory, 2 freshmen and a senior. As the catcher Gregory is going to make her way to the plate. A freshman hitting .341 on the season. She's going to lay down a bunt here, just can't get it to stay fair. And so she will try it again from the plate. There's a good eye there from Lindsay. Laying down the bunt, just took the poor roll.
And to go back to Parker, we go back to her sophomore year, had 26 appearances there, a 9-4 record, a 2.45 ERA. She's got the stuff. She has it proven. It just hasn't really translated yet this season.
So the 0-1 count to Gregory. Line straight to the third baseman, coming across and trying to make the play. was Rodriguez. She tried to throw Kelly Scotty out at second, and Scotty, who is 14 for 15 in stolen bases on the season, has too much speed in that leadoff spot to really have the kind of flexibility to try and throw her out at second on a bunt, and now UTSA has runners on first and second with nobody out.
I think that's just trying to do too much. Take the easy out at first, get the out. You're up by 2 runs. That's just trying to do too much, I think, there by Rodriguez.
So off of the fielder's choice, 2 runners on here for Lacey Gregory. And she's going to opt for the bunt as well. That one's fouled, backing up and over the catcher in Crawford.
Both teams putting the pressure on the defense here early.
Yeah, both offenses getting runners on to start their first at-bats. UTSA saw all 4 of their first hitters reach on singles, 2 by the way of bunt, and then 2 by the way of singling to right field, as this one fouled back again over the catcher.
You talked about last inning for UTSA. Their 3 freshmen leading off. How about Lindsay and Lacey Gregory, 2 freshmen, both hitting over 300. Just a lot of freshman talent here,
yeah,
here in front of us.
We talked to some of the fans before the game. There's a lot of excitement around this softball team. There's a lot of exciting things from Tracy Key's squad as that ball in the opposite batter's box is going to be corralled by Crawford. So 1-2 now the count to Gregory. But yeah, you're talking about the freshmen. There's 3 freshmen for UTSA at the top of the lineup, but North Texas has 4 freshmen in their lineup, both hitting back-to-back as this one's grounded to third, thrown to second for the force out. And looked like for a second there that Rodriguez may have had a tag on Scotty. Scotty was able to get around it, but did get the fielder's choice to nail Gregory at second. But Lacey Gregory is on first. So runners on the corners for North Texas with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring Danielle Gregory to the plate, the senior, one of 2 seniors in this North Texas lineup other than Kelly Scotty, hitting in the cleanup spot.
Get some runs back earlier.
She's going to square to bunt as well, as it's going to be an easy stolen base from Lacey Gregory, who that'll be her first stolen base of the season. She hadn't even had an attempt before that one, but she'll swipe it with runners on the corner. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Danielle Gregory. Hitting .312 with no home runs and 3 RBI on the season. As this was going to be blooped to second. The out's going to be made at first, but an RBI for Gregory as Scotty will cross the plate to make it 2-1. And the Mean Green get back within a run.
Good piece of hitting right there. Realizing 1 out, you just got to put the ball in play, get the run home. Cuts this lead in half.
And that's exactly what you want to see from North Texas. If you're Tracy Key, you give up 2 runs in the top of the inning, and then at the bottom of the inning, coming back and answering, trying to keep their deficit at a minimum. And then the tying run is sitting at third base with 2 outs. A base hit here with a wide open middle infield. Both the shortstop and the second baseman playing extremely far from the bag, as that one's going to be thrown for a ball.
Parker has struggled with her ability to throw strikes this year. 13 walks to just 6 strikeouts.
One of the big things yesterday is this one is going to be hit up the middle, and North Texas is going to answer the 2-run top of the first with a 2-run bottom of the first of their own. And then we are all knotted up at 2 after the single from Harley Perilla. So North Texas able to answer back here in the bottom of the inning.
Great piece of hitting right there. Just went with the pitch right up the middle. Good piece of hitting there by Perella.
So a beautiful piece of hitting there from Perilla puts the Mean Green even once again, as that one's going to be a called strike. But just as I was talking before the base hit, one of the big things for UTSA yesterday, they had 7 walks, only gave up 1 hit, but there were 7 walks in that second game in the 1-0 ball game. And that's ultimately what ended up being, or that's where that 1 run came from in that 1-0 pitcher's duel between these 2 squads in the second part of the doubleheader.
It's pretty impressive when you can win a game 1 run, 1 hit.
It's all chalked up to the pitching job that Lauren Crane was able to do yesterday. Complete game shutout. So 1-2 the count to Rebar. North Texas, who was 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position yesterday, 1 for 3 today with that base hit from Perillo. So the count is now even at 2 apiece. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first, excuse me. This one's nailed in the deep left center field, looking up and over the wall, a home run for North Texas. Hannah Rebar with her 5th on the season. A 2-run shot makes this one 4-2.
And what a great shot. And really, I think she could have used it the most, hitting 177 on the year. She's starting to come along. You know, we talked about the strength of this lineup, the first 5 hitters, how well they've hit. If you can get 6 through 9, start to get it going, I mean, this team could be unstoppable going into Conference USA tournament play. Just great piece of hitting. How about the response by North Texas? Go down 2-0, you've got your ace on the mound. You know, you kind of wonder what type of an effect that has on the team. But they responded right now. This is a team that's been great in the early innings. Great response by the Mean Green.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. There's a lot of excitement around this team from the fans, from the team themselves. And I believe there's just more of a swagger with this North Texas squad. And you saw it there. There was a rip in the left center field from Rebar. As it looks like we're going to have a UTSA pitching change. Couldn't even get out of the bottom of the first inning. So 4-2, very high scoring, which is a complete contrast from the second game yesterday that was 1-0. It is 4-2, and we're not even done with the first inning yet.
Kyle, I never pitched growing up, so I like these high-scoring games a lot better than the 1-0 one-hit games.
You're a little different than myself. So coming in is going to be Nicole Merrill, the senior from Round Rock Cedar Ridge High School. I believe we have a Cedar Ridge alumnus in the booth today.
It's a great high school. Produces many athletes.
What do you know about Nicole Merrill?
Well, Nicole Merrill's a 5'9" senior out of, like you said, Round Rock, Texas. On the year, Nicole is pitching. Let me try to find her stats. She's had an up and down year. She's had some really good starts. Had her ERA under 4 for a large part of the year. Got roughed up by Marshall first weekend of conference play. Bumped it up to over a 4, but like you said yesterday, went 6 innings, just gave up 1 run, the 1 hit. Pitched really well early in the season. The whole UTSA staff has kind of struggled with consistency. But, I mean, if Nicole Merrill can get it going, UTSA is going to have a good shot to maybe try to sneak into the tournament.
Merrill sends that first one high to Grauman. So North Texas now with the bases cleared after the Rebar home run. As the freshman makes it 4-2. There were 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. This one grounded softly back to Merrill. And then a laser to first base is going to end the inning. So North Texas, 4 runs on 2 hits, nobody left on, but they were able to tie it up and then take the lead with the Hannah Rebar home run here to end the first inning. We're headed to the second. Thank you for watching CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. Here comes the second inning with Underwood still in the circle for North Texas. 4-2 is the score. The Mean Green with the lead and the potential chance here with Underwood now with a 2-run advantage to maybe settle down a little bit, get some rhythm, and try and propel the Mean Green into this 3-game sweep.
And how times have changed since Underwood was last in the circle. I mean, you come out, you're down 2-0. Come now, you're up 4-2. The other pitcher's out of the game. It's kind of like a whole new ball game for Underwood now.
And as a pitcher who has been successful throughout the season, having that 2-run advantage, it just adds to the confidence, adds to the, I guess, the relaxed, mindset that she could have in the circle. And with that, Underwood could potentially go into shutdown mode, and this UTSA roster has to get going. 8-9-1 due up for the Roadrunners here in the inning.
And you say 8-9-1, you normally think, okay, here we go with the easy outs. Not the case for UTSA. They hit it right here. Oberg hitting 303 on the year. It's just this lineup, bottom to top, all of them can hit 1 through 9.
Yeah, Oberg with 31 starts in all 31 games for UTSA. That's a swinging strike to make it 2-1. Oberg, like you said, 303 on the season, 9 RBI. She has a 342 slugging percentage. She doesn't have a home run on the season just yet, but she does have 3 doubles and 23 hits. That swing is going to send it into the backstop. So the count even at 2 apiece. Underwood from Mahico, Texas. The transfer from McLennan Community College down in Waco is this was going to be grounded to Scotty at short. Scotty across the diamond, 4 out, number 1. As the play was easily made by the shortstop, Kelly Scotty.
And you trace it back to when UTSA had 2 on, no outs. Ever since then, Underwood's kind of gotten the routine out. She's made better pitches.
So 1 out now for Underwood. 4-2 the score. That one's going to be just a bit high.
Just to talk about Underwood more, we talked about before the game what the difference was between UTSA being 12-19, North Texas having a winning record. I think the biggest reason for that is Stacy Underwood on the year, just to have that ace you can go to.
She's been extremely consistent. We talked about her 2.59 ERA, 8-5 on the season. She pitched well in the first game yesterday. As Angelica Nino at the plate for UTSA. And a swing and a miss makes it 2-1 the count.
And a big part of that is almost having a strikeout to walk ratio that's 2-1. As a fielder, you have to love that, knowing that you're not just going to be sitting out in left field waiting for strikes to happen.
Also, just the fact of not putting unnecessary runners on base, is that's going to be a swing and a miss to even it up at 2 apiece.
Keeps the fielders awake out there.
It does indeed, and we talked about the 1-0 game yesterday, the complete game shutout from Crane. She was able to throw the complete game shutout with no walks and no strikeouts. So every out throughout the 3 innings was a ground ball or a pop fly.
It's a good way to keep your pitch count down.
Exactly. Exactly, as this one's going to be fouled off and to the left, keeping the count full at 3-2.
Nice rhythm right now for Underwood out on the circle.
You can tell that she has a little bit more of a relaxed state as this one's going to be fouled into the North Texas bullpen, but you're talking about Underwood and being able to calm down, heading back into the circle with a 2-run advantage. You can see it body language-wise. Maybe going into the first inning, she was a little bit more tense than usual, trying to go in and finish off the sweep, but now you can tell she's a lot more relaxed as this was popped high to the left side. Coming on and making the play is Danielle Gregory for out number 2.
And one thing I like about Underwood is in the first inning, gave up the 2 runs early. Nothing was seeming to go right, but she never really got down on herself. And as a senior, when you have so many young players out there, that's who they look to see, okay, should I be upset? Should we not? Maybe, is this not going to go our way today? But body language has been the same the entire game. That's what you want from a senior leader.
Underwood's going to send that one to the plate, fouled off once again on the third base side. Lindsey Stewart, who reached on the bunt single back in the top of the first. Back up to the plate, hitting .402 on the season coming into this one. Both corners in for North Texas. McCauley and Perilla playing extremely close on the notable bunter and Stewart. A freshman who has maybe some of the best speed in all of the Conference USA. A lot of these freshmen at the top of the lineup have some speed, both Laughlin and Stewart, as this was going to be slapped in the deep left field. And coming on to make a play is Gregory once again. So a busy day for Gregory and not a busy inning for the UTSA Bats as they go down 3 up, 3 down. North Texas heading back to the plate here in the bottom of the second. Thank you for watching CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. Welcome back to Lovelace Stadium. North Texas with a 4-2 lead over UTSA. Heading back to the plate, 8-9-1. McCauley, Thompson, and Scotty due up for Coach Key's squad. Talking about Coach Key, Tracy Key in her 4th season with the Mean Green. 770 wins and then 461 losses and 1 tie in her career. And then she's 88-99 overall here in Denton. Smile on her face as her team has the 2-run lead heading to the bottom of the second, and that's a big thing. They had the 4-run first, and now you have 8-9-1, a chance here for the bottom of the lineup to get something going. 2 players who have been struggling as of late, but who had success last season in McCauley and Thompson, and a chance for these sophomores to potentially put some runners on base for Kelly Scotty.
And they've seen plenty of Merrill from yesterday. They saw her all day. Got that fresh in your mind.
You're right. Merrill back into the circle for UTSA as she will wind up and hit Riley McCauley. So 1 pitch, 1 runner on for North Texas here to start the second inning, or the bottom of the second inning, rather.
Control has been a big issue for all of UTSA's pitchers this year. Merrill has 39 walks to just 38 strikeouts, so pretty much a 1-1 ratio there.
And that'll bring Bailey Thompson to the plate, making her 28th appearance of the season, 25 starts for the sophomore. Notable for her defensive work in center field. Struggling at the plate, though, 138 on the season. She's going to square to bunt, and a pickoff chance here is going to hit McCauley on the base path. And so McCauley's going to get a free base, and North Texas, just like that, has a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Great job by McCauley to be aware of that, to know the throw is coming, to see it roll into left field. No hesitation there. You hesitate on that, you're probably thrown out at second. Just a great job to take the base. Be aggressive on the base pass. Now you got runner on second. You get the bunt over, move them to third. Set yourself up for a nice inning.
Thompson, who on the season has 9 hits, has a chance here to potentially drive in a run. Instead, she's going to square to bunt, trying to move that runner over to third. That'll be called a strike to make it 1-1. And with Scotty on deck, you have to be thinking that this out for UTSA is extremely crucial in trying to stay in this ball game. Scotty, who has 5 home runs and 16 RBI on the season, and a .390 average, as Bailey's going to put the bunt down. It did bounce right back up and hit her bat, so it's a foul ball. That'll make it 1-2 the count. Thompson catching a lucky break there. If she would have been out of the batter's box whenever that hit her bat the second time, would have been an out.
A lot of courage squaring up to bunt right there. I never could do that.
And you have both infielders in the whole time, as it's going to be on the outside part of the plate for ball 2. So runner in scoring position for Thompson. 2-2 the count with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Here's the fake bunt from Thompson and a swing and a miss. So a strikeout from Thompson as she's unable to move over McCauley to third base. And that'll bring up Kelly Scotty to the plate. She had a home run yesterday in the first part of the doubleheader. And a chance here to extend the 2-run North Texas lead.
And Stacy Underwood, we talked about, the senior leader on the mound. Kelly Scotty's the senior leader in the lineup. Just, every time she comes up to bat at the leadoff spot, you're going to get a good at bat. You're hopefully going to have a runner on base when you get the 2-hole coming in. But
it's a pretty good pitch from Merrill on the inside part of the plate. Called a ball, though. So Scotty will take it 1-0 the count.
Attacking that inside edge.
She is doing so. That one also called a ball. So 2-0 the count. 2 good pitches from Merrill, and both of them called a little bit too far inside. Home plate umpire Craig Elmore not liking that inside part of the plate. So 3-0 now to Scotty. Scotty, who walked in the first inning and then scored a run, is now up 3-0 in the count. So this UTSA pitching staff may just be not allowing her anything to hit, and for good reason.
Crawford tried the ultimate frame move on that last pitch. Umpire doesn't seem to be buying it behind the plate.
Not at all, and there's another one that was on the inside part of the plate, called another ball. So 4 straight pitches again for Scotty. She's seen 8 pitches on the afternoon, and all 8 have been outside the strike zone. So here comes Lindsey Gregory. She reached on the fielder's choice back in the first off of her bunt attempt, as this one's going to be fouled straight back and up and over the booth.
Nicole Merrill was a 2-time first-team All-District 16 4A selection at Cedar Ridge under Coach Jessica Poole.
The Cedar Ridge native is going to have that one chopped foul to the third base side.
Cedar Ridge alums everywhere.
It's a successful school.
Got Mike McCann down at UT. Doing pretty well right now for them.
So Gregory showed bunt. Instead, she's going to pull back with 2 strikes.
Merrill really seems to be missing when she tries to go inside, just a little bit too far inside.
She's not far away. Her pitches are well placed, but in terms of what Craig Elmore, the home plate umpire, wants, not necessarily the best selection. This one's going to be driven into left center. And Coach Key's going to hold McCauley up at third base. So the base hit from Lindsey Gregory, the freshman who's hitting 341 plus on the season now, is going to load the bases for Lacey Gregory. And the Twins here for North Texas, potentially a chance to grow this 4-2 advantage.
That almost looked like a frustration pitch from Merrill. It's like, okay, you're not going to give me that inside corner. I have no other choice. Just throw it right down the middle.
So bases juiced for Gregory. And she's going to take that inside pitch for ball 1. That's another one that Merrill has been, she's been pounding the inside part of the zone.
I don't think her and Craig Elmore are best friends right now.
Not in agreement whatsoever. So here's the 1-0. That one's going to be driven straight to short. And Piles looked potentially for any kind of double play, but that's a big out for UTSA. 2 outs now with the bases loaded. And just good scouting report, good positioning there from Piles. And she was right there whenever the ball was hit.
Good reaction. Great reaction by Piles there.
Short infield and softball. Not a whole lot of time to react to that ball, but the rip from Gregory is going to end up in the shortstop's glove. So 2 down now for UTSA as Merrill still in the circle trying to get out of this bases loaded 1-out jam here in the bottom of the second. The 0-1 to Danielle Gregory, one of the two seniors in this North Texas lineup. So that one's taken for strike two.
Gregory having a good year so far, hitting .312 coming in.
312 coming in, and she had the RBI the first run of the game off of her bat on the ground out that scored Kelly Scotty back in the first. As that's swinging a foul back to the net. We'll keep it at 0-2.
Good job to just get a piece of that, fight that off, stay alive.
It's a good pitch from Merrill, trying to get Gregory to chase. So 0-2 once again. Gregory at the plate for North Texas. Wide middle infield. That one's going to be chopped up and over the glove of Merrill. But Garza is there to make the play. So despite having runners on early and then bases loaded with one out, North Texas unable to scratch across a run. It is 4-2 heading to the third. This is Conference USA Softball presented by North Texas Television. It is 4-2 here in the top of the third inning. Underwood still in the circle for Coach Tracy Key and the North Texas Mean Green with that 4-2 advantage over UTSA. North Texas with the 2 one-run victories yesterday afternoon. A chance here for their second 3-game home sweep of the Conference USA slate so far this season. Both teams coming in to this one. North Texas 16-13 on the season, 5-3 inside the Conference USA brackets. And then on the other side, you have UTSA 12-19 and 2-6 in conference play. Both of these teams extremely even in the all-time series, and by even, I mean completely tied up, 10-10. And so not only is there a little bit of conference standing battle going on here, it's a potential for some bragging rights between the interstate rivals.
Pretty important game. Get that 11-10 edge. Make up for football.
North Texas trying to revenge defeat in all 3 games last season. UTSA had the sweep on the road. This one's going to be lined straight to third base. The laser across the diamond is going to nail the UTSA batter Loftman for the first out. Great play by Perilla to adjust to the chopper and then throw it over to Bakawi for the out.
Yeah, made a great play on the hop, gathered herself, made a nice throw to first.
So that'll bring Rodriguez to the plate. She reached on an RBI single in the first inning. She'll take that one on the inside for ball 1.
I think Underwood just had a stare down with Elmore behind the plate.
Both pitchers maybe a little bit unhappy with the strike zone from Craig Elmore, but it's consistent. That's all you can ask for. Is this was going to be popped off the handle, and Perilla's there for the easy pop out. So 4 pitches and 2 outs. Actually, I believe it's 3 pitches, 2 outs for Underwood here in the top of the third, making quick work of this UTSA top of the lineup. And that's going to bring Randy Crawford, the senior, to the plate, who also had an RBI single in the first inning.
She's got some power with 5 home runs on the year.
5 home runs, 16 RBI, a .463 slugging percentage, and she does walk quite a bit, 7 walks on the year. There's an inside pitch called for a ball. 1-1 the count. 2 outs in the top of the third.
If I'm a pitching coach today, I'm going to tell them lay off the inside corner. Maybe go outside.
That's what it seems like Elmore is rewarding. A great pitch there from Underwood to get up in the count 1-2. So a chance here for Underwood, who hasn't had a strikeout in her stats today. And a chance to end the inning, and that one's going to be a check swing. They're going to appeal to first, and she did not go. Close one there. Looked like maybe for a split second Crawford may have broken the plane.
Most of the Mean Green players were on their way to the dugout when that ruling was made.
Yeah, the appeal coming from Lindsey Gregory behind the plate as this one's ripped but foul off the fence and into the bullpen.
I'm going to say don't throw that pitch right here again. let's
it's
leave
just
that
a
one off.
long strike. Just another long strike. That was it was a hard hit ball from Crawford. Count still even at 2-2. That one's fouled straight back to the screen. Keeping the count even. So Underwood, pitch count now up at 41 on the afternoon. Usually really good at keeping that pitch count down. The majority of those pitches came in the first inning. This one on the inside part of the plate for ball 3.
Crawford brings experience for UTSA, the senior, 2015 first team All-Conference USA. Also 2015 Conference USA All-Tournament team.
Yeah, Crawford hitting in that cleanup hole. One of the 4 seniors in the UTSA lineup's going to ground that one foul on the third base side.
In 2015, started 54 games as the designated player, hit 285 in the Conference USA, leading with 19 home runs and 64 RBIs. So
wow,
definitely a lot of power here for Crawford. Dangerous even when no one is on base, but you'd much rather face her with no one on base.
Anytime that she is up at the plate, it could potentially add another run on the board. That one's going to be popped deep into left center field. That one might be another run up off the top of the wall. It's going to stay in. I don't know how that even happened. And Crawford is going to be safe in the third with a triple. Mitch missed that home run by legitimately inches underneath the scoreboard.
Showing off her power.
Yeah, exactly. We were
one of the
just
deeper
talking
parts
about
of the ballpark back there.
Yeah, it's 215 in the left center here at Lovelace, 220 to center. So like you said, one of the top or the deepest parts of the field, the umpires are going to meet, potentially talking about giving this home run to Rodriguez. It looked like it hit the top of the fence. It didn't hit the scoreboard, did it?
I saw it hit the top rim of the fence.
And so they're going to give an explanation over to Michelle Cheatham on the third baseline, and it is still going to be a triple, and I believe that's a right call.
Not a fun job being an umpire.
Not at all.
Any level.
Not at all. And the one thing that's hard about it is that usually in like major league ballparks or in baseball ballparks, you'll see yellow lines up the top of the fence. There's not a yellow line or even a white line to distinguish the top of the fence here at Lovelace Stadium. It's just a black padded wall out in the outfield. And that's what those lines are for, to try and distinguish where that ball would have landed. And that one off the top part of the wall, just a couple inches being away from a home run, bounced straight back up into the air. That's how close it was to being an extra run for UTSA. But Underwood, with extra life here, sends it to make it 1-1 the count here with 2 outs in the top of the third.
We'll send you out one day. You can paint the yellow line across the top of it.
Yeah, just give me an extra handiwork job to do. This one's aligned sharply back to Underwood. And then the toss to first is going to keep the lead at 4-2. So after a near home run from Randy Crawford, Baldwin hits the chopper back to Underwood, and that'll do it for the top of the third. Headed to the bottom of the third, North Texas up by 2 here on CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. North Texas still up by 2, heading to the bottom of the third, and North Texas, like we talked about earlier, is 16-13 overall in the season, 5-3 in conference play. They are sitting at second in that CUSA West standings race. La Tech above them at 5-1. La Tech not in conference action this weekend. They're actually in non-conference action against Mississippi State and then against Oklahoma State today, or actually Oklahoma, today in Oklahoma City. So La Tech and a chance for North Texas to continue growing their resume, getting up to that La Tech advantage. North Texas, the only team out of the West Division last year that did not make the CUSA softball tournament.
And if I were to place any bets this year, I'd probably place a bet towards them making it this year. Great position right now, being at 5-3, just barely behind La Tech. I think this is a team that has a really good shot to make that tournament this year.
The start of the season, the conference opener sweep against UTEP definitely helped, especially here at Lovelace Stadium. They went on the road, had a rough weekend at FIU, couple games that North Texas felt like they should have won, should have pulled those games out, just weren't able to do so. And then you come back in your friendly confines of Lovelace, and you're doing your job thus far. Had the 2 early wins against UTSA, and then now, of course, you're up by 2. It's still early on, a lot of softball left in this one, but at the same time, you're on the right track if you're North Texas.
And their RPI to be 57th in the RPI, 99 spots higher than they ended last year.
Exactly.
That only is going to go up. You have Oklahoma coming in, the number 13 team in the country on Tuesday night. A lot of good opportunities for the Mean Green coming up.
So a 3-0 count to Perilla. She's going to take the 4-pitch walk. Perilla had the single and then scored a run, an RBI single, back in the first, and then scored the run, of course, off of the Hannah Rebar home run, and Rebar is going to make her way back to the plate.
Give Crawford credit. She's trying behind the plate with the frame.
Elmore
not buying any of it.
That's what a good catcher does. You got to frame and try and set up your pitcher for success. As that one's going to be bunted. It's going to stay fair just in front of the plate, and the sacrifice is successful for North Texas. So moving over to second is Perilla, and Rebar, after hitting a home run, doesn't get a green light to take a hack against Merrill. But other than that, now there's a runner in scoring position with 1 out for North Texas.
As a batter, you've kind of got to be like, Coach, let me swing the bat after that. The last swing I had, but got to support the team.
That was going to be taken for a ball. Camille Grauman, the freshman, 206 on the season. This is her 25th appearance, 21 of those being starts. A lot of slap hitting there, as that one may have hit off of her calf, and she's going to beat the throw to first. So Grauman with the infield single off the slap bunt.
And with great speed to run down the line. A lot of hustle right there. Right off the bat, she was ready for it.
And it looks like Cheatham may have saw what I saw from the booth. It looked like off of the slap bunt, it may have hit Grauman in the calf, or on the shin rather, on her way to first base. And if so, that would be a foul ball. And they're going to say no. She's going to stay at first. So runners on the corners now for North Texas. That's going to bring Riley McCauley to the plate. McCauley, who has a little bit of power, flashed some of that last season. 6 RBI on the season. And she reached on a hit by pitch back in the second inning. She's going to square to bunt. And there's an easy steal for Grauman to put 2 runners in scoring position.
McCauley with the great base running in the first inning to be able to see when the ball went into the outfield, when it was overthrown, the ability to go from first to second on that. Her heads-up base running led to the runs for North Texas.
A base hit here could potentially score 2 runs. Grauman has speed at second. You saw it on the infield single that she just reached upon. So 1-1 the count. Once again, UTSA's middle infield playing extremely far from the bag, providing for a lot of room behind Merle.
McCauley leading North Texas with 12 walks this year. Very patient batter.
She's down in the count here, 1-2. First base is open. And then Bailey Thompson's on deck. Ooh, and a big swing and a miss from McCauley on the changeup. And she'll sit down and make way for Thompson. Thompson, who struck out back in the second. A chance here with runners in scoring position again.
Merrill may be the opposite of Underwood. Very showing her emotions out on the field. A little bit of a grin right there. She got the changeup to work her way.
One of the first off-speed pitches we've seen from Merrill so far in her 2 innings of work. And then Thompson, you talked about McCauley having 13 walks on the season. Thompson has 11. So also another patient batter. Her on-base percentage much higher than her average, 263 compared to 138.
It's all about Moneyball.
I know you're a big advocate of the Moneyball.
The best
mindset.
and the only book I've ever read.
Oh, there you go. So Thompson showing the fake bunt. Both corners playing in. She's going to turn around and take a hack, fouling that one off to the backstop. So Thompson down 0-1 in the count to Merrill. Merrill trying to get out of the jam. 2 runners on for North Texas. Both in scoring position and a chance here to grow the 4-2 lead. That one's going to be taken on the outside part of the plate.
And I'll tell you what, Rodriguez playing up on the fake bunt. When I played baseball growing up, whenever they did that fake bunt, I stayed back because I'm not getting hit by that ball. Much braver than me out there.
Shorter bases, too, than baseball season as well. So Merrill, that one low. Picked out of the dirt from Crawford. So now Thompson up 2-1 in the count.
Thompson had that big opportunity in the first inning, struck out there. Chance for her to redeem herself here.
Can't help but think that's exactly what's on her mind. Grauman on second, Perillo on third. Merrill from the circle. Thompson's going to take that one for ball 3. And once again, first base is open, but look on deck, and you have Kelly Scotty waiting in the midst of this potential run-scoring opportunity for North Texas.
And Merrill's done a great job. She did it last inning, getting out of the jam. You know, runners on, she's able to get out of it. Hasn't given up a run yet in relief.
This is a big pitch here, taken for strike 2. Able to find the strike zone with her back against the wall.
And if you're Thompson, you got to be ready to swing the bat here. You got to be expecting that it's going to be a strike coming here.
3-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the third. 2 runners on for North Texas, both in scoring position, and Thompson's going to take that one on the outside to load them up for senior Kelly Scotty, first team all-conference last year. And a chance here with 5 home runs and 16 RBI on the season to extend both of those categories and really blow this one open here in the third.
You can see the frustration on Merrill's face. She knew she missed on the outside corner there.
So the first pitch to Scotty, bases loaded. That was taken inside for ball 1.
Just Merrill's 6th relief appearance on the year.
She does really carry a big load for this UTSA squad. And that one's thrown way outside for ball 2. If you're Michelle Cheatham, you may think about pulling the troops together for a meeting here.
She's got to throw strikes here, nowhere to put her.
Merrill and Lizzie Fox really do the bulk of the work in the circle for the Roadrunners. They both combined for a 12-17 record. And here's Scotty taking for ball 3. So Scotty, who has seen 11 pitches so far today, had a 4-pitch walk in the first, had a 4-pitch walk in the second, and now she's up 3-0 in this count. So Merrill with the bases loaded, nowhere to put Scotty. Here's the pitch inside, and that's going to score a run for North Texas. And even though a run scores there, UTSA still hasn't thrown Scotty a pitch to hit throughout the entire ball game, and only one run stretches across the plate. But at the same time, you have to deal with the rest of this top of the lineup as well. Lindsey Gregory now to the plate for North Texas.
And surely with Scotty, that has nothing to do with her average on the year, not throwing a strike.
So Gregory, who has reached twice, first off of a fielder's choice in the first, and then on a line drive single back in the second. Here, up for the second time tonight.
Merrill, her first strike since issuing that walk a couple batters ago.
So 0-1 the count. Merrill trying to find any kind of rhythm she can. That one low again. Crawford, you talked about the framing ability from Crawford. That one may have been a little bit over the top.
The attempts to frame every pitch, but it seems a little overdone at times.
Oh, man. 1-1 the count. Once again, middle infield playing way off of the bag. A lot of room at the top of the infield, and that one's going to be taken for ball 2.
And Merrill just very outwards with her body emotions. You can see the frustration as it's grown here the last two batters with Thompson and Scotty. You can see it just kind of growing on her face, the inability to find the strike zone right now.
So 2-1 the count. Bases juiced for Lindsey Gregory. That one grounded sharp to third. But the throw and the easy play is made by Rodriguez over Tenino for out number 3. So the bases left loaded by the North Texas Mean Green, but they were able to scratch across the run thanks to another Kelly Scotty walk with the bases loaded. So North Texas heading to the fourth, up 5-2. This has been Conference USA Softball presented by North Texas Television.
Was that less like dead air? Was that one less dead air?
That was bad. That was good. Dead air's not bad in softball.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing whatsoever. You just don't want it to be like awkward.
Yeah. Has it been?
Oh. In the first and second, maybe a little bit. Lately, it's been that third inning was clean. I thought it was pretty good broadcast. At the top of the inning, we talked a little bit about the start or the top of the CUSA standings in the West Division. At the bottom, you have UTSA 2-6 in conference play. They're tied with Southern Miss. Southern Miss, a team that North Texas is preparing to go up against in a couple of weeks on the 8th and the 9th, and then Charlotte is up next for the conference slate of North Texas, and Charlotte is at the bottom of the East Division at 3-5 overall. So North Texas with some favorable competition coming up in the next coming weeks, and a chance here to really grow their resume trying to get into that conference tournament.
And a chance to kind of define themselves as a team to say, hey, North Texas, we're here. We're going to be good at softball. This is a team that's going to make the Conference USA tournament. We're going to be competitive in that tournament. And I'm just excited for the non-conference slate. We already talked about Oklahoma coming in here, but the fact that you get to go to Florida, you play Florida. In Florida, Oklahoma, that's the last 4 College World Series, Women's College World Series champions that you get to play this year. I mean, that's just got to be exciting for a player. For recruiting, I mean, you can sell that to players, be like, hey, we're playing the best of the best. The best of the best are coming to Denton. I mean, that's a recruiting pitch that just has to be great and is just kind of easy to sell.
And not to mention, they played Oklahoma State last week. Now it didn't go extremely well to plan. They lost 10-2, but they play Oklahoma State later in the season. They play Texas later in the season. Like you said, a lot of Florida games at the end, right in the start of May, and a chance to not only grow yourself as a team against some of the best competition in the entire nation, but also to have that kind of recruiting pitch to bring on the road with you during the offseason and things like that. And the way that North Texas has been playing, they beat a Baylor team, they beat a Texas Tech team. They play Oklahoma this week, and we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of stuff that is happening with this North Texas softball program that's exciting. It's bringing it up, and it's making them really a legitimate contender here in the South in the Conference USA as well.
3-1 versus last year's tournament teams.
That popped just behind the circle, and Scotty coming on. Looked like a little miscommunication between Scotty and Underwood, but the shortstop's going to come up and make the easy play on the blue pop-up in the infield for out number 1.
Those 3 wins coming against Baylor once and then beating Wichita State twice to beat the tournament team. 6 tournament teams remain on the schedule from last year, being Florida, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Florida Atlantic, and Texas.
And like you said, the last 4 national champions, Florida and Oklahoma, both on the schedule coming on in the next couple of weeks, and then also next couple of months with the Florida games later on in the season. So after the first out, Haley Garza is now even in the count, 1-1 with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. This one's going to be fouled off on the third base dugout.
Was a 4-year starter in high school at Magnolia High School from Magnolia, Texas.
So 1-2 the count. That one way outside.
One of the rare misses from Underwood.
She has been extremely efficient in the circle. 15 balls on the entire game thus far, really pounding the strike zone.
Underwood with no walks, no strikeouts so far today.
It's reminiscent of what Crane did yesterday. This one just over the outstretched glove of Thompson. And that's going to be an easy stand-up double for Garza. So UTSA not done just yet. We talked about how they've struggled in conference play. They have had their fair share of comebacks. This past week, they've had 2. They were down 5-4 against Lamar heading into the 9th inning, and then won that game 6-5. And then yesterday afternoon, the first half of the doubleheader, they were down 6-1 in the 8th inning, and then scored 5. Or they were down 5-1, excuse me, in the 8th inning, scored 4 runs in the 8th and the 9th to tie it up before, yes, North Texas did take the lead for the walk-off. As a little bit of shifting there off of the potential bunt coming from Taylor Oberg.
And the way that wind's going right now, no lead is safe. You get
It's
that
true.
ball in the air, it's flying out there. Thompson initially looked like a routine out, but just kept flying out to deep right center.
That one fouled off to Perilla on the third baseline, almost stayed fair. Instead, it's 1-1. Like you said, the ball has been carrying. We've seen it a couple times. A couple balls just get up into the jet stream and then carry out into center field. And you can see it on the camera that we have out there. It is extremely windy here in Denton.
We saw that last inning with Crawford's hit, how far that ball carried,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
going out to deep left center on that one.
So 2-1. This one fouled off once again, and that'll make it even at 2-2. So 2 runs in the first by UTSA in this offense. The first 4 batters reached for the Roadrunners, and after that, it has been all North Texas, 5 unanswered since then. As this one's going to be grounded to Scotty. She's going to look the runner back at second and then get the out at first.
Great
So
play to
2
keep
outs
that
now.
runner from going over to third, too.
Exactly. She was able to look back at Garza, keep her from getting any kind of head start on a potential chance to try and swipe third base. Looked her back to the bag and then threw it over to McCauley at first for out number 2. That one fouled back by Nino. So Angelica Nino, the first baseman, senior for UTSA, hitting .325 at the bottom of the lineup. Started all 31 games. She has 4 RBIs on the season. That one outside almost looked like a pitch out.
Out of California as a 2015 Conference USA Academic Medal, Commissioner's Honor Roll.
There's a couple of those kind of academic accolades coming from this UTSA squad. North Texas has a couple of their own from last season as well. Kelly Scotty, who was all academic. She was also first team all conference. And then notable others that had those kind of prestigious academic awards from a conference, as this was going to be fouled off into the left. So 2-2 now the count, 2 outs with a runner on second for Underwood. Nino at the plate for UTSA.
And for Underwood, this is where she excels with the runner in scoring position. Big time situation here.
You don't see a whole lot of emotion from Underwood, and these are kind of the situations where you need a pitcher like that in the circle, and also the jams that she was able to get out of early in this one. The first inning notably had multiple runners in scoring position and able to get out of it with seemingly no kind of worry at all, and then she got the lead and she's been able to settle down since then. She has given up a couple hits each inning, the one to Garza, then the one to Crawford a couple innings ago that ended up in extra base hits. This was going to be lined to Perilla off the glove and into left field. Here's going to be a play at the plate, thrown, and she is out at home. Garza thought she could advance from second to home. So Perilla off the glove, and then Gregory came on and threw a straight right to the catcher, Gregory, for out number 3 and to save a run from crossing the plate. So North Texas keeps it 5-2. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th. This is CUSA TV powered by North Texas Television. So Merrill back to the circle for UTSA and the Roadrunners as North Texas has the 5-2 lead heading to the bottom of the 4th as they are 9 outs away from a 3-game sweep of UTSA here this weekend at Lovelace Stadium. Coming up for North Texas, it's the 3-4-5 hitters, Danielle Gregory, and then Harley Perilla rounding out the next 3 batters for North Texas.
For the folks watching at home, we just had maybe the weirdest version of like the dot race that I've ever seen in any baseball, softball scenario.
The Eagle race out in left field. So here's the first pitch here in the bottom of the 4th, a called strike to Lacey Gregory. Gregory hitting in the 3 hole as a freshman, 360 coming into the game. Reached on a single back in the 1st and then flew out to left field in the 2nd inning.
And in the bullpen for North Texas is Lauren Crane.
Crane, who
warming
threw
up.
a complete game shutout in the 2nd part of the doubleheader yesterday. In the bullpen warming up for North Texas. Underwood expected to be out in the circle at least to start the 5th inning. We'll see where that goes in the next couple minutes. So bottom of the 4th, as this one's ripped and snagged by Garza. Just a great piece of hitting from Lindsey Gregory, and just Garza quickly able to snag that one and keep it from being a base hit. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th.
And what reactions there. That ball was shot out to third. Absolute screamer. Great job to put that glove up, to keep it in the glove. Looked like it was about to fall out, but just great reactions there by Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, who is over at third base. And so Danielle Gregory, fresh off of her throw to nail the runner at home in the top of the inning. Now at the plate for North Texas.
Merrill's really having problems with control here the past 2 innings. 4 walks to 2 strikeouts today. Just doesn't seem to have that location that she wants. Hasn't been able to find that inside pitch at all today.
Not at all. She hasn't been able to hit that inside corner if she tried. 2-1 now the count. Gregory 0 for 2 on the game thus far. This one softly hit to Merrill. Bobble. The play at first is close, but by about a half a step, Gregory is going to be thrown out by Merrill. So 2 outs, 2 up, 2 down so far for UTSA here in the bottom of the 4th. Looked like she just caught it on the end of the bat, sent it right back up the middle, and an easy play for Gregory. Almost bobbled it, or for Merrill, excuse me. And Merrill,
good recovery.
Just bobble it, and then, like you said, good recovery to throw it over to first. So Harley Perilla, who has reached both times. She had an RBI single in the first and then a walk in the third. So 1-for-1 day for her thus far. A swing and a miss will make it 1-1 the count.
Leads the team with 8 doubles on the year.
Yeah, Gregory, like you said, 8 doubles. Or Perilla, excuse me, with 8 doubles on the season, 4 home runs, 18 RBI. She has some power. That one's going to be off the end of the bat as well. This one tossed to first, and another close play is going to be safe. So Perilla beats out the infield single. UTSA almost certainly thought that was out number 3.
I'm not sure about that one, if that was the correct call there. Looked out from up here. There's a better view down there, but from up here, it looked like it was easily out.
It was a close play. Could have gone either way. Cheatham comes out of the dugout to voice her opinion. And so with 2 outs, there's now a runner on for North Texas, bringing Rebar to the plate, who hit a home run back in the first inning.
North Texas catching a break right there.
Exactly. It's the same exact situation for Perilla. 2 outs, runner on first. For Rebar, excuse me, with Perilla on first. And Perilla's actually going to try and swipe second. The throw is held on for the out. So Perilla tried to swipe second base. Coach Key is now going to voice her opinion. Thought maybe Garza would have been blocking the bag. And honestly, I might agree with her. So North Texas not taking the field yet. Rebar still at the plate. And no North Texas Mean Green player has left the dugout yet, and that is going to change now. So out at second base, Perilla caught stealing. And that'll end the bottom of the 4th. We're headed to the 5th. North Texas still up by 3, 5-2 over UTSA here on CUSA TV. in the circle for North Texas here to start the 5th inning, a 5-2 lead over UTSA as they are 9 outs away from the weekend sweep and improving to 6-3 in Conference USA action. That's going to bring Lindsey Stewart, the 1-2-3 hitters, top of the order for UTSA to start here in the 5th. Stewart had reached in her first at bat in the first inning off of the bunt single, and then she flew out to left field in her second at bat.
Didn't look like Underwood was going to be in the game for this long in the first inning, the way the game kind of started, but settled down, has really kind of gotten into a flow of late.
This one ripped in the center, but an easy play for Thompson as she's able to make a couple steps and make the play for out number 1. But like you said, at the start of the game, the majority of the pitch count that Underwood has really accumulated came in that first inning. Since then, she's been able to settle down, hasn't given up a run yet, maybe a big hit here and there. But at the same time, the Roadrunners just haven't been able to put any kind of rally together, and it has really worked in Underwood's favor. Only 73 pitches here, and we're in the middle of the 5th inning.
And North Texas definitely benefited from the win there, keeping that little bloop that looked like a bloop single, keeping it up for Thompson to be able to come up and catch that ball.
So Loftman at the plate, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. After both teams had a lot of troubles with runners in scoring position yesterday, both teams 0 for in that category. They've come back today. UTSA 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and then North Texas 3 for 10. And then with runners on, both of those averages go up just a slight bit. That one on the outside trying to get Loftman to chase.
Loftman going with the Ichiro approach coming out of the box.
Yeah, the slap bunt approach from UTSA, that's where they really get a lot of their base runners from. And that one's going to be a strike 3. That's Underwood's first strikeout of the night, as she's able to sit down Loftman on 4 pitches for out number 2.
You almost have to wonder if that approach to it maybe hurts the hitter a little bit. Just not being able to focus on the pitch as much. Not keeping as much attention to it.
She really has been able to get into a rhythm this afternoon and really push forward like she has.
First strikeout of the day for Underwood.
So Rodriguez at the plate, 1 for 2. This one grounded to Scotty. Pump fake and the throw and the pick at first from Makawi. So 3 up, 3 down once again for Underwood. Another efficient inning for the Mean Green as they will head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-2 North Texas here on CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. Six, 7, 8 due up for the Mean Green. Those 3 combining to be 2 for 4 so far this afternoon. Merrill still in the circle for UTSA. Crane still warming up in the bullpen for North Texas. And Rebar, who kind of got her last at-bat taken away from her after Perilla was caught stealing second base. And Rebar, who had the home run back in the first inning and then had the sack bunt in the 3rd inning, really a chance to swing away once again.
Yeah, and she's got to be excited she doesn't have to bunt this time. She can actually follow up on that home run swing, and no one can tell her to bunt this at bat.
Yeah, she has 2 home runs and 9 RBI on the season.
Her last home run came February 11th against UMass Lowell, so just in the second game she played all year. So it's certainly been a while for her.
It's got to feel good, and it wasn't just a home run. It was just a bomb in the left center field. One of the probably the deepest part of the ballpark. So the 1-0 count to Rebar. She officially 1 for 1 on the day. That went inside for ball 2, so she's up in the count over Merrill.
And you know Rebar must have just been ecstatic when she got back to the dugout after blasting that 2-run shot earlier in the game.
She's going to take that one on the inside part of the play. That was about the same pitch that she was able to hit for the home run, just an inside fastball. She didn't have the green light there, was taking all the way. So now 2-1 the count. Still hitters count for Rebar, and she's going to check swing that one into the mitt of Crawford.
And I will say for North Texas, the past few innings, it looks like they've been helping Merrill a little bit out at some of the pitches they've been swinging at, some of the outside ones, some of the inside pitches that haven't been called strikes. It just looks like they're helping Merrill out a little too much.
A big swing and a miss, snagged in the mitt from Crawford for out number 1, and that's going to be Merrill's 3rd strikeout on the afternoon. That'll bring Camille Grauman to the plate. A freshman is 1 for 2. She grounded out in the first inning, and then she reached on a single back in the 3rd.
That last pitch kind of proves the point we were talking about, helping the pitcher out too much. That's a pitch I feel like you can take on that one, have it be ball 3. Just don't help the pitcher out.
And the swinging bunt try there. She was trying to slash her way onto first. Grauman, one of the more effective slap hitters in the conference. Anchoring down that 7-hole as a freshman for Coach Key.
Has really started playing a whole lot of late. Didn't play a whole lot in the early season, but as of late, she's really played a lot. Started in 19 games this year. Had 3 hits against Texas Tech back on March 5th.
Well, after this weekend, this is her 21st start on the season, updated over the weekend. She did start yesterday in a game and then started today, of course, as well. So 1-2 now the count to Grauman.
Be ready to hit anything, but don't chase anything.
And she's going to swing and a miss for out number 2. That's the 4th strikeout on the afternoon for Merrill. So Merrill, who came in, struggled a little bit early on, has really anchored down since then, gave up the 1 run at the end of the 3rd inning, and then got out of that bases-loaded jam that ensued. But since then has really kept up pitch for pitch with Stacy Underwood since she came into the ballgame.
And just 2 hits given up by Maryland. Now 4+ innings of relief.
There's a swing and a little dribbler to Merrill at first. The throw is not going to be caught at first base. And so Makawi is going to reach. Not sure if that's going to be a single or an error. Probably an error, as Nino couldn't hang on to the throw from Merrill. And another 2-out base runner for North Texas on for Bailey Thompson.
It appears as it's been ruled an error for UTSA. They're 3rd of the game now for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for UTSA, 5 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Mean Green. So Thompson back to the plate for North Texas. She is 0 for 1. She reached on a walk in her last at bat, and then she struck out her first at bat, both of which she had runners on throughout.
North Texas 4 for 12 today with runners on base.
That's a .333 average for you math whizzes out there.
Pretty impressive calculations by Kyle Yeomans there.
It's in front of me. It's not that impressive. So Thompson in the 9-hole for North Texas has McCauley at first, Kelly Scotty waiting on deck. There's a swing and a foul ball off on the first base side.
Anybody listening should just be impressed that we haven't talked about what we had for lunch today yet.
It's because I haven't had lunch today, Josh.
Thompson sets up to bunt.
Yeah, she shows bunt. She's going to pull back and take 4, ball 2. 2-1 now the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
And again, this bottom half of the lineup, they've just been helping Merrill out with their pitches. Good job there by taking it, but just don't help the pitcher out. Be patient enough.
You talked about it at the beginning, as Thompson's going to send this one to second, and Garza's going to take it herself for out number 3. So 1 runner left on after the error, but nothing going for the Mean Green there in the 5th. We're headed to the 6th here on CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. So 5 innings of work, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those earned for Stacey Underwood so far today. She is still in the circle here to start the 6th inning, and with those middle innings gone now, Josh, North Texas has really navigated some of the parts of the game where that has given them a little bit of trouble so far this season.
Yeah, you talked about it, 75-45 so far, 4 through 6. That's a negative 30 run differential. This being the 6th inning, I feel like everyone in that dugout, everyone on the field is kind of like, all right, maybe we can get out of this one, take care of this, get to the 7th. But yeah, it's definitely been impressive. They've been able to navigate these innings.
So 4, 5, 6 due up. Crawford, Baldwin, and Piles for UTSA. Here in the top of the 6th. Once again, I'm Kyle Yeomans alongside Josh Conrad. This is CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television, bringing you Conference USA Softball, North Texas and UTSA. As Randy Crawford, 2 for 2 on the afternoon. A single, RBI single back in the 1st, and then she had the long triple that hit off the top of the wall just underneath the scoreboard. It was just inches away from being a home run. Didn't end up scoring off of that, as Under was able to get out of the inning with 2 outs and that runner on 3rd. That was going to be chopped to 3rd, foul. Brillo was there.
And you have Crane warming up in the bullpen still, but Crawford doesn't want Crane to come in. She's seeing Stacey Underwood just fine, like you talked about, with the single, the triple, the near home run. Crawford's definitely in the zone right now.
She's been swinging the bat well. Crawford, 244 on the season average-wise, but she does have 5 home runs and 17 RBIs. That one's going to be taken high for ball 3, 3-1. Hitters count now for Crawford.
Underwood definitely going a little more carefully to Crawford. Definitely picking around the strike zone more than she has so to other batters. Definitely knows who's at the plate.
And a check swing foul ball there is going to put the count full, 3-2. Now to Crawford, so Underwood takes a sign from the dugout. It was a full count whenever Crawford sent it for the triple, and that one's going to be grounded to Scotty for out number 1. Kelly Scotty's had a busy day at short. She's due up to start the bottom of the inning on the offensive side of things. But she has been perfect from the field so far this afternoon. So 1 out, nobody on for Baldwin. Baldwin 0 for 2 on the afternoon. A fly out and a ground out in her first 2 at-bats.
Interesting for UTSA, you have the 1 through 3 all hitting over 300. The 7 through 9 all hitting over 300, and the middle part of the lineups where you have no one hitting over 300. It's interesting to see how that lineup's kind of been broken up.
And another thing that's extremely interesting from UTSA, you look at their team statistics, their batting average is above 300, 306, and then they score only 4.2 runs per game. Their batting average 40 points over, or on average, over what North Texas averages over the season, but they still only score 0.1 points more per game than North Texas does. So they get runners on base, they just have trouble putting them in and putting runs on the board. And you look at the last 3 games of this weekend. You have the UTSA game, or the first game of the series, as this one's fly deep in the left field. Back is Gregory to make the play on the warning track for out number 2. So a good rip there from Baldwin. Ends up in her 0 for 3 afternoon. But like I was saying, you look at the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, North Texas had 10 hits, UTSA had 12, so they won the hitting category. Then the second game of the doubleheader, North Texas had 1 hit, UTSA had 7, so they won the hitting category again, but they lost both of those games. And then today, as this one's flown deep in the right field, back almost to the warning track, making the play is Rebar, but once again, UTSA can't get anything going on Underwood. Another quick inning as she has 82 pitches on the night as we are heading to the bottom of the 6th. 5-2 is the score. North Texas with the lead here on CUSA TV, powered by North Texas Television. Due up for North Texas. Kelly Scotty to lead things off for the Mean Green here in the bottom of the 6th. And Scotty, who has been to the plate 3 times, has yet to see a strike, has walked all 3 times. She's an official 0 for 0 on the afternoon, helping her average and her on-base percentage out, but at the same time, she has walked on 4 pitches, all 3 at-bats thus far.
She's going to have to convince people that she actually was hitting today. Not going to affect her average at all, but
so North Texas, a chance here to add to their 3-run lead before heading to the 7th. They're 3 outs away from being 6-0 at home in conference play and 6-3 overall, with their 2nd straight sweep of an in-state conference rival. And that one's taken for a ball.
Crawford has not given up on trying to get that frame going.
Not giving up whatsoever. And Scotty still has yet to see a strike. 13 pitches, 13 balls thrown to Kelly Scotty. Here's a pitch, and the trend continues. 2-0 now the count.
The game within the game. Maybe one silver lining for UTSA is if they don't manage to come back. Nicole Merrill's looked good today. She looked good yesterday. Have her starting to pitch better going forward.
And finally, there's strike number 1 after seeing 15 pitches That's the first strike thrown to Kelly Scotty, and for good reason. She leads the Conference USA in hits, runs, triples, steals, on-base percentage, slugging percentage. She's the all-time program stolen base leader, which she broke last Saturday with passing Brooke Foster, as this one is a fly out for out number 1.
There's not many days she's going to go 0 for 1 in a full 7-inning game.
Not a whole lot you can say about that, and that was a good rip, but just a little bit too much under it for that first out. So that'll bring Lindsey Gregory to the plate, who is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Got a base hit in the second inning. There's a swing and a foul ball back to the screen. Makes it 0-1.
For Merrill, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts today, pretty much on par with her season averages. Following up with her scattering report.
We talked earlier at the start of the game about the struggles for North Texas lineup-wise at being more toward the bottom from the 5-hole on. Today, it's really most of the, I guess, productivity has come from that middle of the lineup, bottom of the lineup. You have the 5, 6, 7 hitters all with hits and RBIs, and then you have the top 4 hitters combined with 1 hit. Now they've been getting on base, but at the same time, you usually see the North Texas top of the lineup really carrying most of the load, and today it's been quite the opposite.
And that's what this team, as they continue to grow and develop, having a full lineup where anybody can hurt you 1 through 9 is just going to go measures. It's just going to make you so much tougher as a team. It's going to be wearing on the other pitchers, knowing that you can't just throw strikes to this team or anybody in the lineup, because anybody can get a hit, anybody can hit it out of the park. It's just a good job of hitting by North Texas as the team today.
So the 2-2 to Gregory's outside to fill up the count at 3-2. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. This one popped high in the left field. Underneath it is Stewart for out number 2, and that's another one where Gregory just got a little bit under it, had a good bat on the ball, sent it into deep left field. If she would have maybe hit more of the middle of the ball instead of being underneath it, then she may have seen that one fly over the fence as well, especially with the wind and the way that it's blowing today.
It's almost as if Merrill, almost lately these past 3 innings, has kind of lulled North Texas to sleep a little bit at the plate.
That one outside for ball 1, and you're exactly right. 5 innings of work for Merrill so far this afternoon. 2 hits, 1 run. That run was earned. And then you talked about it, the 4 walks and the 4 strikeouts, as that one's ripped in the left field. And just like that, another 2-out single for North Texas as Lacey Gregory gets her first hit of the afternoon.
And hitting 360 coming in, what more can you expect from Lacey Gregory? Nice solid piece of hitting, nice hard hit ball. Just North Texas's 5th hit of the day now.
Her slugging percentage up there at 640. She has a lot of power we talked about. She leads the team in RBI as well. And a big hit there to put a base runner on for Danielle Gregory, a senior, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
And just a 3-run game. You'd love 1 more insurance run. Get this to 4. You'd love 2 more, so 1 swing can't tie it up at any point. But
and you'd love to see a potential runner in scoring position, but the runner on first base, Gregory, has not attempted a stolen base while not having anybody on. She did have a steal earlier in the game, but it was with a runner on third base and no throw to second. So with that being her only steal of the entire season, not really a threat to run here. That one called strike on the inside part of the plate. 2-1 now the count to Danielle Gregory. Gregory, who has struggled today, 0 for 3 on the game. Chance here to extend this 6th inning. Takes that one for ball 3.
Does have an RBI from the first inning and a ground out.
Yeah, she was able to scratch across that first run for North Texas. Able to score Kelly Scotty, who was able to work her way around after a couple sack bunts, a base hit, and then score on the sacrifice ground out as there's a 5-pitch walk putting Gregory on first base. So with 2 outs, the Mean Green have a little something cooking here in the bottom of the 6th.
Nice little 2-out rally here by the Mean Green. Get the base hit, get the walk. A little bit more patience in the at-bats here this half inning.
So Perilla back to the plate, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. She had the single, an RBI single, back in the first. That one's a swinging bloop into the right part of the infield. It's going to drop. That's going to score a run for North Texas. The throw to third, not in time. And Harley Perilla with her second RBI single of the game gets that one just over the outstretched glove of Garza, the second baseman, into right field. And so with 2 outs, North Texas scratches across an insurance run, and they're still cooking with runners on the corner and 2 outs here.
And that hit reminiscent of UTSA's first inning, how they got their runs with the little bloops right over second. Great piece of hitting there by Perilla. Just to get it out there, great bloop. And like you said, huge insurance run now for North Texas heading into the 7th.
And it looks like UTSA is waiting for Coach Michelle Cheatham in the field. Actually, I take that back. That's North Texas and Coach Key talking to her base runners over off the third baseline. So runners on the corner. And here is Hannah Rebar with the home run back in the first. 2 RBIs off of that swing. And a chance to add on to their 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Another chance for the freshman to come in big right here.
Perilla on first, Gregory on third. The square to bunt. And a potential run play at the plate. She's going to be, the out call was made initially, but the ball popped out of Crawford's glove. And then there was a safe call, so still looking at the umpire, having a conversation with Michelle Cheatham. The play at the plate, Crawford shaken up. And that is a designed play from North Texas with runners on first and third. The runner at first pretends to steal, takes a late jump, gets caught in the middle, gets in a run down, allowing the runner from third to score. And with that play at the plate, Crawford was shaken up. The initial call was out. And then the home plate umpire changed his mind and flipped the switch just a little bit. So North Texas does scratch across a run. Also, Perilla moves into second base to put her in scoring position here with 2 outs. So just a very complex set play from North Texas here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th to scratch across that 7th run.
And it did appear at first like the throw beat the runner. But it looked like the ball was dropped maybe by Crawford. Hopefully she's okay here.
The throw for sure did beat the runner at home plate, but it looked like the ball popped out of Crawford's glove. Couldn't see it from our angle. But home plate umpire Craig Elmore was the one that made the initial out call and then changed it to safe. So a unique situation, to say the least, here in the bottom of the 6th inning. But North Texas, through it all, scores the run and then advances Perilla to second base for Hannah Rebar. So it's now 7-2 in favor of the Mean Green.
Right now, North Texas is just finding different ways to win, whether it's with the long ball, whether it's with designed steal plays. That's just signs of a good team, just finding different ways to win these games.
Able to scratch across a run here and there. They had nobody out and 2 outs on the board already in this inning. Instead, they were able to get some 2-out hits, get some 2-out base runners, and then we just saw the result of that, being able to do some different things with a lead, with that comfortable advantage that they had to be able to score some of those extra runs. As a strike is thrown to even up the count at 2-2, and we talked about it earlier, you can't take this UTSA team for granted. Any kind of lead that you have is not safe until that final out is thrown. You were up by 4 going into the 8th inning yesterday and gave that up. Eventually had to come back and hit in your bottom half of the 7th, as that swing and the miss will end inning number 6. So North Texas scratches across a couple, making it 7-2 heading to the 7th. This is Conference USA Softball presented by North Texas Television. So Underwood back on the rubber for North Texas, 3 outs away from securing a 3-game sweep of the UTSA Runners and improving to 17-13 on the season, 6-3 in conference play. So 7-2 is the score, and it's 7-8-9 due up for the Roadrunners. Garza to start things off for UTSA.
Underwood personally looking for her 9th complete game, which leads the team. Looking for her 9th win as a pitcher, so a big opportunity here for Underwood to get that 9th complete game. Of course, had that the first weekend of conference play here against UTEP.
6 innings of work for Stacy, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them being earned. She has a strikeout, but she did give up a couple extra base hits, a double and a triple, but neither one of those resulted in any kind of runs scored for UTSA. She hasn't given up a run since the top of the first. Has really settled down ever since North Texas took that 4-2 advantage, as this one's fouled off over the third base dugout.
An impressive effort, just all game she's been able to locate her pitches. She hasn't walked anybody, hasn't put any extra runners on base. It's just what she does every time she goes out to pitch, and it's more of the same from what we expect from her.
So 2-1 the count to Garza. She's going to take that one on the outside part of the play. Some of the North Texas fans wanted that to be a called strike, and instead, it's going to be 3-1. Hitters count now for Garza.
As Craig Elmore continues to catch flack from both sides all afternoon.
That one a called strike. And so full count for Garza, the sophomore, hitting .333 on the season. Only her 16th start in 25 appearances. Had a couple where she would come off the bench and play for Coach Cheatham as she fouls this full count pitch off back to the screen.
Mean Green looking for their 6th conference win, go 6-0 at home.
6-0 in conference play. They had the sweep of UTEP 2 weekends ago. And they went on the road, lost all 3 to FIU, all close battles, as this one's grounded to short. Gregory can't handle it. And that's going to be the second error of the afternoon for North Texas to put a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. And if you're North Texas, you can't give any free outs to UTSA. Underwood did her job, got the ground ball, should have been out number 1, but Gregory just couldn't handle the short hop, and instead it's going to be a runner for UTSA.
And you can't relax here. You know, you kind of get the 2 insurance runs in the bottom of the 6th, you're up by 5. You have Underwood on the mound. Maybe as a fielder you're like, okay, we got this. I don't need to stay as attention-based. But you talked about it, UTSA's ability to come back. We saw it yesterday. They did it against Lamar. It's just a UTSA team that you can never really count out. You got to stay focused out there on the field right now.
So Oberg at the plate for UTSA, 0-1 the count. And so 1-1 now to Oberg. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. She's grounded out to short both times. She does that again in danger of a double play. Instead, she's going to pop it over the head of Kelly Scotty. Garza's going to go from first to third. And that's going to be a double in the left center gap for Oberg. So 2 runners on, and both in scoring position for UTSA here in the top of the 7th.
And you're okay if you're North Texas here, you know. Those 2 runs don't mean a whole lot right now. Play's still at first. Don't get pressured here. You're fine. If you're North Texas, just right now you're meeting up. You're reminding everybody, hey, we're good. Go to first. Easy right here.
I mean, outs right now are way more important than those runs are in scoring position. Each out that you can get you closer to pulling out a victory.
Those 2 insurance runs are coming through big right
Exactly. Would have been 5-2 with 2 runners on, instead of in a tying run at the plate. Also, instead of having that 5-run advantage, if that 6th inning wouldn't have gone to plan. So Underwood missing on her first pitch. Nino 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Is going to pop this one into shallow left field. Scotty's going to come over from short and make the play in foul ground for out number 1. So North Texas 2 outs away from closing this one out. There's a conversation.
Looks like we have a contact out.
I think it is a contact issue between Rebar coming in, and she's talking to Lacey Gregory at second. Of course, Riley McCauley's going to come over and help out. As you can see there's the contact issue.
Never seen that in a softball or baseball game.
It's interesting. Little stoppage in play for a contact issue. We seem to be okay now. And, of course, the trainer's going to come out and check on it. Get some
Second
eye
base
drops.
umpire seems very intrigued by what's going on right now. Very observant.
I love it. So in the 7th inning, after a contact break, North Texas has the top of the lineup up with Stewart in the batter's box for the Roadrunner. Still runners at second and third. Underwood in the circle, trying for her 9th complete game of the season. A line shot's going to get past Perilla. That's going to score 2. Here's the play at second. She is thrown out at second as Gregory throws in a shot to second base and nails Stewart as she tried to swipe 2 on the base hit. And so 2 runs cross, but there are 2 outs now on the board for North Texas. It is now 7-4 the score.
And you'll gladly trade those 2 runs for that second out there. That's huge to get the base runner off. Maybe a bad decision by Stewart trying to stretch that single to a double. Right now, UTSA, you just need base runners.
This one popped into shallow left field and foul. Both Scotty and Gregory were near but unable to get to it. So 0-1 the count for Underwood.
It's just got to be relieving as a pitcher to go from 2 guys on or two people on. Yeah, they score, but I mean now you have 2 outs. You're 1 out away from ending the game. 1 out away from getting the big sweep.
Loftman's going to take that one on the outside part of the play for ball 1. 1-1 the count. 2 outs. Like you said, 1 out away from the 3-game sweep of UTSA. Continuing to grow their Conference USA resume. North Texas sits at second right now in the West Division, only behind La Tech as this one's popped foul again.
Fan tried to make a play on that ball. Wasn't successful out there.
So UTSA down to their final strike. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Top of the 7th, North Texas leading 7-4. Here's Underwood. The pitch on the outside part of the plate. It's actually ball 2, so we'll do it all over again now at 2-2.
And if you're Underwood, you've been saving any pitches right here, just use it right here. Get out of this game.
Underwood to the plate, grounded through the infield. Both Perilla and Scotty had a diving effort at it, but couldn't get a glove on it, and Loftman has a 2-out single. And once again, you talked about it, how huge those 2 runs were in the bottom of the second, able to scratch those both across with 2 outs. Now you have a little bit of breathing room, not a tying run opportunity. If those runs wouldn't have come across, the go-ahead run would be at the plate, and the tying run would be on base for UTSA right now. Instead, it's popped foul off into the right for strike 1.
And it shows the importance of being patient in your at-bats. Even if, there's 2 outs, there's nobody on, we're up by 3, maybe this is bad, doesn't matter. But you get the nice hit, you get the walk. It leads to the 2 big runs, and it's just the importance of being patient throughout every at-bat in the game, just knowing the importance of that each at-bat.
Also, not to mention to be comfortable with a lead. North Texas was up 5-1 yesterday heading to the 6th inning, and then in the final 2 at-bats, UTSA was able to score 4 runs, tie it up, and force it into one final at-bat for North Texas.
And any one of these next 3 hitters can hit home runs for UTSA. This is part of the lineup, kind of the power alley for them, with 8 home runs here for Crawford and or Rodriguez. So this is just kind of the power part of that lineup.
2-1 the count to Rodriguez. Underwood to the plate. That one's going to be popped high in the infield. Perilla is under it. She's going to make the adjustment, make the play, and that will do it. North Texas finishes the 3-game sweep over UTSA, winning this one 7-4 and improving to 17-13 on the season, and then 6-3 overall in conference play. So a great weekend for North Texas. They were unable to beat UTSA in the hit column in all 3 games, but instead they were able to scratch across the runs whenever they counted the most and able to pull out 3 wins at home at Lovelay Stadium.
And it's the signs of a good team, being able to find wins when maybe the hits aren't going for you, being able to scratch across runs, to create runs, just to find ways to score. And I mean, you have Stacy Underwood today come give you a great performance. Lauren Crane gives you a great performance yesterday. Underwood was able to battle through it yesterday as well. And so it's just a team that's in a really good place right now. The lineup, they look locked in. I think there's still sometimes when they need to take each at bat a little bit more seriously. But as a team, you're finding ways to score. You're finding ways to win. Team is in a very good place right now.
So as the school song plays behind us, the final stat line from Stacy Underwood: 7 innings pitched, 10 hits given up, 4 runs, only 1 of those runs being earned with 1 strikeout, and she ended with a total of 104 pitches. And then some of the notables from the lineup: you have Hannah Rebar with the 2-run home run to make it 4-2 in the first inning, and then you had a big afternoon from Harley Perilla, who went 2 for 3. She had 2 RBIs herself to help propel North Texas to this 3-game sweep. So coming up next for the Mean Green, they will play the defending national champions, the Oklahoma Sooners, coming up on the 28th, a 6 p.m. first pitch scheduled for that. And then next weekend they will play UT Arlington, Charlotte, and Charlotte again, as North Texas has a tough slate, 5 games in 7 days for the next week. So once again, the final from Lovelay Stadium, 7-4 in favor of the Mean Green as they sweep the UTSA Roadrunners. The brooms are out for Denton. Thank you again for joining us. This has been CUSA Softball on CUSA TV. I'm Kyle Yeomans alongside Josh Conrad. Thank you again, and we will see you next time.